to another Watch with Ray, with me, Ray. Look at, I've got lights and shit. This is production value, man. Kidding, I just got a camera. It's working just fine. So, welcome to another Watch with Ray. Tonight, guys. Tonight, gonna do the... Okay, nope. You know, I realized that I sing like the first couple of lines of every song when I sing, like on this show and on the podcast and stuff. I'm like that Bill Murray character from SNL, the lounge singer, that only knows a couple lines from each song. I mean, I do know them, but like in the moment, my brain just forgets the rest of the lyrics. Anyhow, that has nothing to do with what we're here to talk about tonight. And what we're here to talk about tonight is a piece of shit movie called Children of the Corn from depending on which source you're looking at. Could be 2023, could be 2020. It all depends. But for this iteration, we're gonna go with 2020 just because I believe it sat on the shelf that long. But this, because it says, if you look it up, it says 2020, and it is the poster and the children from this movie in it. So I'm gonna go with 2020. I had heard about this. Ooh, girl, it's got a 3.6 IMDb rating. That's bad. That's bad. And I can easily tell you, it deserves every minute of that. Oh, goodness gracious. So the director, we have Kurt Wimmer. He's had some winners in his past. He's also very attractive. Hello. I'm not a big fan of this movie, but I know a lot of people are. Is Equilibrium. I think it's, if you've heard We Hate Movies talk about it, it's Gun Kata. In fact, I got the idea to do this. Like, I wasn't going to do Children of the Corn because I really don't care for the series. But Andrew on We Hate Movies is like, he told people, he goes, no, it's a seeing is believing, and holy shit, he's right. But so, Kurt here is, God, he is so good looking. Was not ready for that. He has done some real great remakes, like the Point Break remake and the Total Recall remake. That Total Recall one is hot garbage. Law-abiding citizen. So maybe not all great, many great movies. I'm looking now. I mean, I guess the Thomas Crown Affair, people like that. But like looking back, he's got Sphere, something called Double Trouble. Okay. The Neighbor, Relative Fear, The Recruit. Isn't that another one with fucking Colin Farrell? Is he just like best friends with Colin Farrell? What the fuck? I mean, that wouldn't we all want to be friends with? Yes, even with his dumb haircut in Banshees of Inisherin. Ultraviolet, yikes. Salt, yeah. These are just. I mean, he's got two coming out, or he had two after Children of the Corn, because this is here. It says 2020. He's got one called Spell, and I'm sure it's a winner. It's got a better. Actually. It has a 5.5 IMDb rating. So, oh, this sounds kind of cool, actually. A man crash lands in rural Appalachia, and awakens in the attic of a traditional hoodoo practitioner. He desperately tries to break free of her dark magic and save his family from a sinister ritual before the rise of the blood moon. Ooh, spooky. I like that. Also, the guy in it's very attractive. Omari Hardwick. Hello. Hard body. Hardwick, hard body. What? Okay, anyhow. So yeah, this movie, not great. It is seeing is believing. This fucking movie is nuts. Okay, so I mean, I don't even know where to start with this one. So we open the movie with this teenager just coming out of the corn, and supposedly he's been gone for 4 days. No one cares where this teenager's been for 4 days. Whatevs. But and then I can't tell if this little girl that's sitting there, I forgot. Oh, she's pretending to ride a horse, and I didn't know if it was her sister at first. She will end up being the lead bad guy in this movie. I cannot remember what the redheaded kid from the original movie, what his name was. Outlander, we have your woman, Outlander. Such a bad movie. Anyhow, it's so dumb. Anyhow, uh, so he tells her nothing really dies in the corn as he's going inside to massacre everyone, every adult that's in this. They're in this child's home. This is like a like an orphanage, child care center. Like it's for kids who do not have homes. So I would say an orphanage. Um, I don't know if there's a better word to say for that now. I'm sure there is, but um, uh, but yeah, he says nothing really dies in the corn. I'm like, well, except corn. Corn. Okay. So he goes in and massacres all the adults. And then some hillbillies, including the sheriff, decide to pump noxious gas in to stop him massacring. I was like, I'm pretty sure he got everybody he wanted to. But instead, with this, oh shit, I wrote it down. Hexethylene. I wrote it down later because it comes back. And it's poison gas. Let's just say poison gas. It's supposed to knock them out, but really what it did is it ended up like killing all these kids. Um so the only one who's kind of like a witness is this little girl that was sitting there, while her brother whatever came out of the corn. Her name is Eden, but I would call her Red through the rest of it because she wears this dope ass red wig that I totally was like, damn, I need a red wig like that. Over top of her hair, like it's like goals. She gets kind of given to this pastor, and right away I'm like, you's a creep. Oh my god, you a creep. And we look at, I mean, he's great in this because he's a fucking creep. Bruce Spence. Bruce Spence, you creep in this movie. He's a New Zealand actor. Oh, okay. He's in Lord of the Rings. He was in Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith. Uh, uh, but yeah, he's actually very good in this because he's supposed to be a pervert, like he's a creep. Spoiler alert, come to find out, he's fucking the kids. So cool, not. Um, and so he sits down to talk with Eden. And he's like, well, uh, do you think he was sorry for what he no he says well when I forgot what the kid's name is went in to go into he said I'm sorry Eden, and she's like, what do you think he's sorry for and she goes, for not killing you all. Okay, yeah, okay. So then we switch to our protagonist of the movie, Bo. Her full name is Boleyn, like Anne Boleyn. And her brother's name, he call him Cece or Cease. Cecil. I'm like, these are not okay, fine. Cool. Cool. Um uh and here's the thing. So they're out in the corn and she's like diatribing about like why like the corn's dying, and she's told like she's gonna go be a marine biologist. I think she said, yeah, she's gonna be going to Boston, go to be a marine biologist or something, or an ecologist. I don't, whatever. I wasn't paying that much attention, guys, because this movie's bad. And I could not give a fuck about these kids, because especially the older kids, movie doesn't give a fuck about them, so why am I gonna give a fuck about them? But they had this, she and her brother had this real weird relationship, because at first I thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend. I was like, oh, that's sweet, like, because she gives him this look, it's a longing look, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden he starts talking about dad. I was like, wait, what is happening? And then I got real creeped out. So she brought him out to the corn, this big. I mean, it's supposed to be Nebraska, I believe. Yeah, because Omaha they brought it at one point. So it's supposed to be Nebraska, and there's like there are cornfields everywhere, but they're all dying supposedly. So she brought him out to all this fucking dying corn, tell her that she got into to college and she's leaving next week because she waited a month to tell him because she was so nervous. And I was like, this family is dysfunctional. We find out that like her parents are like her mom's cheating really just cheating hand over fist on her dad, and like that's all she does is the mom every time we see her, like she has no lines in this movie. Mom has no lines except for to like get in some guy's car and drive off. um More plot than we fucking needed. um and so they come across, they're walking and talking, and they come across Eden again. Now she's got her sweet ass red wig on. She sees herself as the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, and she has sentenced this other kid Wally to death because she makes him walk the plank because he didn't help when his hound dog ate something and got poisoned. And so he has to like jump off of this pretty high fucking quote unquote plank and fall in this pile of dead corn stalks. I was like, that kid's gonna fucking break an arm. You know what? Fucking, I don't care. Um, doesn't matter. But just you need to know that this is how Eden is. She is escalating. Like you could see crazy in her eye. It's getting more and more. So they, I guess they're supposed to be looking. Okay. So what we learn, my next note is every 10 minutes they should just have sponsored breaks in this movie for like commercials for birth control or condoms, because you'll never want to have a child watching this movie. Anyhow, so we do get a kind of a glimpse of the like a little tiny glimpse of the corn monster, and it's fucking cool, I have to say. I was like, okay, I'm with you on this because it's almost like one of those magic eyes that those books that are like those pictures they used to have, the magic eye where the picture would come out if you stared at it so long, and if you cracked your eyes and held your breath and squeezed your butt cheeks. But it's not, I mean, I actually thought it was like a really cool design because it's like that you think you caught something but you're not sure. Later on, however, it gets stupid looking, but for right now I'm enjoying it. So I guess there's this corn posium that night, and where they're gonna try to find a solution to why all the corn is dying. So what had happened is this like company had come in and promised them all that, like they're gonna if they went with this additive or something to put on their corn, it was going to grow, and it was going to hand over fist, they were going to have tons and tons and tons. It was going to massive growth of corn. Well, it ended up killing all of their plants. So they're like, okay, what are we going to do right now? This town is dying. And also they couldn't afford, well, this is 2020, so I'm going to go, no, they would have filmed this in 2019. Because I was going to forgive it and say, like, there's no extras in this movie. Like, there's like a handful, there's maybe 30 people in the town altogether. But then I was like, oh, well, COVID. I'm like, no, they filmed this in 2019, so bullshit. They don't got no money. So the pastor gets up and since it's about morality, and that's why the corn's dying. They're all like, what the fuck? And as I was calling him Matthew Foconahue, who is Bo and Cecil's dad, he wants to choose government subsidies. So if they choose, and they have to choose it in like 24 hours. Okay. And if they choose it in 24 hours, they will get they will be paid not to grow corn. This has happened the same thing with the the New Deal, and when Depression era, there was too much goods being grown, being grown, and no one to buy it because there was no one had money to buy said. So there were piles and piles and piles of vegetables just rotting. So that's kind of what although it's something different because they're not actually growing a there's no there's no fruit of their there's nothing coming out. That's what's gross. Okay, just moving on. They're not growing anything. There you go. Um so the little girls, like Eden's bitches, like because they all vote and they all vote to take the subsidies, except for like Eden goes. Now, mind you, she's 11 years old, maybe younger than that. Maybe 9. I don't know. I'm not good with pictures or seeing kids and knowing ages. She's like, we didn't get a vote. They're like, ha, 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 these kids can't vote because, of course, all the kids are there, all the kids, and these random 3 teenagers who we learn one of their names, Calder. He has a little brother that is one of the like Eden's kids, like her like groupies. And his dad is the one that's really taking the charge of making fun of Eden. So guess what? It's gonna come to him later. And then there's 2 other random girls, which the only reason I learned their names is because I fucking had to look them up. I had no clue. They are not referenced. They are not named. We talk to them. Bo goes up and actually talks to them. Does not. I don't know if she knows them from church, school, the fucking down on the corner, the ATM. I don't fucking know. So then what they decide to do is Red goes. So again, I'm going to call her Red now. They are pissed off because they didn't get their vote, but of course they don't own land because they're 8. So I get where they're coming from. It's their future that they're fucking losing, but at the same time, that's not your property. It's not your land. So you're a child. And so they're planning something. And it gets real weird because she starts taking kids out into the cornfield and they start wearing like uh FDLS, like oh, that guy, Warren Jeff's like dresses. And they're like singing crazy creepy shit like songs out in the corn, and Cecil gets indoctrinated in this group. At the same time, the teenagers, the 4 of them, are planning. They call this reporter in Omaha. She's gonna come out and she's gonna publicly shame this company, and the adults too. And by doing a story, so Bo tells Eden, you make sure you get you and all the kids, make sure you go home and tell your parents that there's an emergency community meeting at 10:00. My dad's holding, and we're gonna have a trial. And Eden's eyes light up like, fucking trial, yes, is happening. Again, this is there's so many like Alice in Wonderland themes in this. Like, she really does think she's the Red Queen, and Red Queen did have, like, in the story, it had trials, and so she's fucking stoked because she's exciting because she's gonna fucking cut somebody's head off. So there's a lot of family drama that I am definitely running over because I'm like, I don't fucking need anything about the parents cheating on each other. Who fucking cares? So we do find out that Red and her drones have dug this giant fucking hole. Like, it's enough for, I mean, you wouldn't be able to, as an adult, climb out of it. So that's how big it is. And they've slaughtered a hog, and they're just painting the roots of the corn that is like surrounding the hole like with blood. I mean, like, just like you normally do, because the thing in the corn told them to do that. He who walks said, yo, bitches, I need a giant swimming pool, and I'm gonna need you to go kill me a pig because I need some bacon. Yeah, I think you know what, I need to get some like rejuvenation back up in these roots. So to slather that blood right on my roots. It doesn't make any sense. But we're dealing with a girl who does say that she saw something, and Bo's like, whatever. At this point, whatever. So needless to say, they end up getting dad and Calder, and they pick him up on the way. They get mom and dad. They handcuff them. Cool. And they bring them in because they're going to have their trial. Well, they get to the community center, and Eden's already sitting outside with a horse tied up to something inside, and Calder's little brother is just sitting there like whittling a piece of wood, and Eden goes, "Yeah, you want to see something cool? Want to see a dead body?" Well, almost, because then she takes Bo in, and they've got Calder and Cal. I think it is Cal's dad. She's got her strung up by the horse. So the horse is the hanging rope is tied to the horse. So she gets that horse to move, and he just gets his neck snapped. So, whew, that's one. We've also come to find out that there have been other murders this night too. Bo asks Eden where, because she told Eden, "Hey, when there's a reporter coming to town, I want you kids to go pick her up." I don't know how that was going to happen because they can't drive. Okay. And bring her into town. Well, they're like, "Well, it's a reporter." And then Eden says, "Oh, she didn't come. She decided not to come. She didn't show up." Okay. But there's one thing I'm going to say, because in this scene, after she kills Cal and Calder's dad, she just goes, "He's not laughing now." This little girl is fucking awesome. I will say, this little girl, Kate Moyer, I never read some reviews. They were like, "Oh, she's, no one could bring her back. No one could tether her in acting." I'm like her acting is like what that should have been like your first take. And then no, I was like, I think she did a fucking fantastic job. I think she was creepy. She had really good inflection. She made really good choices. So fuck you, dudes. I think this kid was awesome. And I can't wait to see if she does other shit, because she was awesome. I guess, she was in one episode of The Handmaid's Tale, but I don't watch that show, so it doesn't fucking matter. Anyhow, let's see. So then, okay, a lot of other shit happens. All of the remaining parents are in jail. And they've got the sheriff in jail too. So here's awesome. Is they bring in that like poison gas. Well, Eden puts on a gas mask. No one behind her, none of the children do. But she has a gas mask on. So in this town, gas moves in a different way, obviously. It doesn't go backwards. It doesn't fill a room like gas does. It just, you point it at something and it just goes that way. Because that's how matter works. Anyhow, so whatever. She knocks out almost everybody in the jail cell. There's only a few men left that are in the jail, and they take all of the parents out. And I'm like, what are they doing with these people? Also, they're children. How are they picking up dead weight adults and hauling them out to where we find is they take them out to that giant fucking pit that they built or they dug? How? They weigh 70 pounds fucking wet? I mean, like, soaking wet? How are they picking up and moving and carrying a full-grown adult? Movie magic. So at this point too, Calder has also lost his mind, and he got a face full of bat, and he did. So there goes the romantic lead. He was good looking too, good looking kid, and he dead skis. And then, so all the adults wake up in the corn pit. So the one that's in there is Bo and Cecil's mom. And at this point, Cecil is lost. They're lost to us now. They're dead to us now. He's totally brainwashed. So this is one of the funniest fucking scenes. Okay. All these adults are in this corn pit. And these children, mind you, children, are using heavy machinery like uh bulldozers and uh dump trucks sort of things to dump dirt into the hole and suffocate these parents. Okay. Like how do these kids know how to drive these things and work them? Really? Okay, whatever movie. It's hysterical. And she's like, Eden's all excited. She's like, ha 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 ha. It's my evil face. Um, but my note is, how do these kids know how to use heavy machinery? Like, okay. Um, then we get to when then we have those like two randos that are left over. So we've got Bo and the two randos. Um, and so she's like, you need to leave. Like, I could barely hear what or understand what Bo's saying through this most of it because she overacts, she over emotes so much, and she just like, I can't remember. I'm like, I can't understand what you're saying. Luckily, I have my subtitles on because I can't fucking hear. It is. She tells them to go. I forgot their names. I looked them up. I don't fucking care. She sends them off. She's like, get to some weird name of a town over, and get help. So they leave. From what we found out from Eden is he who walks, that's the monster, is sick, needs to feed. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna send the leftovers. So all the things that no one could, that didn't make it into the pit, they're going into the corn. Um, and she starts. Well, she's like, what? The pastor is one of the ones who is left over, and he's like, why am I going? I didn't, I did nothing. I don't even grow. I mean, I don't even grow corn. Blah blah blah. And Eden's like, yes, that's right. You weren't part of the vote. You weren't part of that, but you have sinned, haven't you? And I was like, oh no, 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 no. And yep, he's been fucking kids. It's not explicitly said, but it's inferred. Awesome. So this guy gets his eyes ripped out in with the most egregious CGI I've ever fucking seen. She goes and she plucks his eyes out with a scythe. But it's so bad. It's like she's not even digging in the right place when they show another like an overhead shot. It's not even like it's bad. It's bad. It's hysterically bad. Um Oh, so then they do send the dads, the council of dads goes into the to the corn, and Bo tells her father, get to wherever where she sent the two randos, get there, send help. I'll try to stop her as much as I can. They also find at this point that the reporter did make it to town. And they got the shit beat out of her, and she will be used as bait. Um, and we shortly realize this, like, it's the time in this movie moves very interesting because it's like at one point I'm thinking it's been half hour maybe, and suddenly Bo's in a barn, and uh, there's the randos. They have already been murdered. I'm like, wait, hold on. This hasn't been that long since you were over at the pit. What? Okay. So this time is a flat circle, guys. So they're going and they take the reporter into the to this like barn where they've got the randos axed up, like trussed up by the ceiling. I'm like, also, how can a child get the fucking bodies up? Okay, movie magic. So they hang her up as bait for the monster. He who walks doesn't make an appear. Oh wait. I said, so we're not going to fucking see the monster? Because he comes for his prize, his lovely prize of the reporter here. But if I had to describe this character, this monster, it's Corn Groot. It's Groot. It's Groot, but made with corn. So it's Groot. I am Groot. And because Bo turned on everybody, they douse her in gasoline. Like, just, she wakes up and they've been pouring it. She wakes up to them pouring it on her. So they knock her out. I don't know how much time has passed because, again, time, flat circle. And they go to like light her on fire, and she's like, hey, dummies, there's grain dust everywhere in here, and you've just poured a whole can of gasoline. This is gonna go up like, and plus all the chemicals from the corn company that like was using, it's like Synthacorn or something like that. Like, that's all there too. They're like, this is gonna explode like a fucking bomb. And oh fuck, man, maybe we shouldn't do this then. And she throws like gasoline, like throws like, because she's covered in it, throws it in their eyes, and they're like, oh. So these children, guys, this movie is so fucking stupid. So she's running out in the cornfield after they've been burned, I guess. Not that they're not standing around inhaling. That would have burned their eyes anyhow. Like, their eyes would be burning from all of the gasoline they've just poured on this person, and it's just wafting in their faces. But neither there, here nor there. So Bo finds that her. Oh, and guess what, guys? I'm fucking spoiling this because no one should watch this. If it's free, watch it for the craziness. So Bo finds that her father did not make it out. He is dead skis. And then she, as she's trying to, she finds something on the ground, and she goes to pick it up, and then suddenly Kroot's there, and he's going to try to grab her. She finds a broken beer bottle and just shoves that thing right into the side of Kroot's head. And so he screams and runs off, and she runs off, and she finds this car. This car was referenced earlier. Doesn't matter. Just know she gets in a car. She drives, and this car is leaking gas. She drives through the cornfields, and I'm like, why the fuck is she driving through the cornfields? Why can't she just get on the road? She does make it to the road, and she stalls. But suddenly, and as soon as she stalls, she's sitting there, and suddenly Eden's in the back seat. How? Could she teleport now? What is happening? Sure. And now she gets in the front seat. She got a cattle gun. She has a cattle gun now. Okay. And so Bo's like, I want my last cigarette. Because she can, and again, she's still covered in gasoline. This right here, this will make your brain bleed. So she's like, can I have a cigarette for the road? And she's like, well, I didn't think you smoked. She's like, I'm trying to give it up. You're 17 years old, whatever. She walks out, and she makes Eden makes Bo get on her knees, and she's going to use the cattle gun, and she's giving her like, her villain speech or whatever, about why like he who walks took care of her when no one else would take care of her, and rightly so. I mean, the pastor was probably diddling her, so I can understand why she wanted to fucking murder his ass. But she's got this cattle gun up to to her head, and she's got because you remember, guys, this is an old car, so it's got a lighter in it. It's got a cigarette lighter. Y'all, like, young kids don't remember, cars had cigarette lighters in them, and they turned like, you push it in, it'd light up, you pull it out, and it had this orange like ring where it was heated up so that you can light your cigarettes. Because that was, I mean, we could also, I couldn't, I was not old enough to do this, but you could also drink in your car at the time too. So smoke it up while you got it, and also drink a beer while you're at it too. Great for pedestrians. Anyhow, so she's holding this lighter still, and she puts the lighter onto the ground, and I would assume the puddle of gasoline, and it just lights up in this like Rube Goldberg-esque looking, like looks like dominoes that have been fallen down and all make the patterns in the cornfields and they're all on fire. And I'm like, you you would be on fire. You're covered in gasoline. Y- Okay. Um, what's really interesting is that the rando kids or like Calder or even some of the parents, like her mom might be an asshole for cheating on her, but she didn't do anything like moral, ethically wrong. Not well, I don't know what the fuck you want to say. Like she's not a bad person. So why did she have to die? Why did the randos have to die? Why did Calder have to die? But you know what doesn't happen? None of these little murdering shits die. None of them. None of them get murdered. I wanted to see like little tiny limbs flying off the little fuckers. Especially that little Cecil. Fucking. Anyhow. I guess we're just gonna forgive him because that's what she kind of does at the end of the movie. She's like, "Oh yeah, remember when you tried to murder me 20 minutes ago? Cool." Um, and then we get the biggest fuck you. So all of the cornfields are burnt, and she's walking amongst it the next day. Oh, because Eden walked out into the cornfields to be with her, he who walks. Um, whatever. Uh, and so she's looking at over all this destruction, and she looks down, and Eden had this like little ring. It was like a little um daisy ring, and she finds it. She picks it up. She closes her hand, opens, and it's gone. Suddenly she turns around and there's Eden, all melted and gross, and she's like, "Nothing. Remember, nothing dies in the corn." And that's the fucking end of the movie. I've ruined it for you guys. You can thank me later. This one didn't make me angry like the Lair did. I just sat there. I finished with it. I texted Ween and I said, "Holy shit. Holy shit. Someone made this movie. Someone paid actual dollars and people came to set. There was a craft services that came to this set and fed people. Probably a tutor for all the children that were on the set too. Wow. Because this movie's goddamn garbage. Anyhow, so let's do our ratings. So oh, blood and gore. Everything in this movie, well, there is a really sweet when the thing takes the reporter, it does rip her in half. I mean, Terrifier does it better. Nobody does it better than Art the Clown. But it rips her in half. It's all CGI'd, so I can't really even say like I will. I guess I'll give it a 2 just because. Oh fuck, I don't even want to give it a 2. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I mean, just because, but it's all CGI. No, what? Fuck it. 1 because it's all CGI bullshit, blood and gore. It's dumb. Anyhow, um, uh, spooky, scary. I mean, 0. Nothing scary about stupid kids. Stupid maniac kids. Just kick them. Um, sex and nudity. None. The mom was fucking getting it wet with every guy in town, supposedly. I mean, that's what we're supposed to. She's supposed to be shamed into this. I'm like, she's got to deal with Matthew Fohanahey, who's not doing shit. Like he's just drinking all the time. I would be going like, peace out too. I'm gonna go. I'm hot. I'm gonna go because she was fucking hot. Like I'm gonna go get a piece of something that's not drunk dick here. And then fun and entertainment. Let's say 2. Fuck. I had a blast watching this fucking movie because it blew my goddamn mind. Blew my mind. Whew. And that's that. That is Children of the fucking Corn. So, we have an episode that will be coming out tomorrow. That is on it's Evil Dead month at B3 because we're celebrating the release of Evil Dead Rise at the end of the month. So the first episode for April will be Evil Dead 1, the 81 and the 2013 remix, yeah. Wiki wow. Remake. And yeah, so I mean in the next after that we'll be doing Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. And then we'll end the month with Evil Dead Rise, and then we're gonna do the first season of Ash versus the Evil Dead. I would also recommend, if you have not, we are doing a series on, if you can see it on our list. I'm going through The Last of Us, so we're gonna be recording the most heartbreaking fucking episode that I've ever watched. I mean, one of the most heartbreaking episodes of television I've ever watched. It would be episode 3. I'm going to record that with Ween, so look forward to that. Other than that, I mean, that's it. We had a lot of shit going. I'm going on vacation. If you find us on all of our little social media stuff, if you have any suggestions or you have you know want to get in touch, you can always email us at booze boobs and blood podcast at gmail.com. All right, well, I would just like to say, keep it spooky.